I'm Brother Ali. I'm an MC out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm from an independent record label called Rhymesayers Entertainment. We release our own music and we tour a lot, all the time. And so we do everything ourselves. And we're a family of artists. A lot of people, most people know that are familiar with us, know me, Brother Ali, Atmosphere, POS, ID and Abilities, list goes on, Freeway, Evidence from Dilated Peoples, Blueprint. Yeah.
So, and where was your last concert? And how was it?
Man, I've done concerts every day for the last 9 months.
Where was your latest remarkable concert?
The last great one?
Yeah.
We did the Roskilde Festival in Denmark, man. That's
a name.
That was great, man. That was wonderful.
So it's not about you and me, it's about us. Tell us about your latest album. Who's called Us?
Yeah, well, my music is known for being really personal and being very intimate, and it's based on mood. And from my first album, which was 2003, until the album before my most recent one, 2007, I released a lot of projects that were really autobiographical. They were about my personal life. And culminating in an album called Undisputed Truth, which is really just an autobiography about a 3-year period where I got divorced. I was a single parent, homeless with a child, and just rebuilt my life from the ground up. And all this while being an independent artist that tours all the time. So that album, it was the one that I think people really started to hear who I was, and I started having a little bit more success and being a little bit more known. So the next album that I made, I took that same approach, but I didn't want to make songs that were only about me or where I was the main character anymore. So I made songs that are still personal and intimate, but they're based on the relationships that I have with people who are from many different walks of life. And taking that approach allowed me to write about a lot of different topics because they weren't solely confined to things that happened specifically to me, but these are things that I lived in my life because people that I loved went through them.
So you're leading right to the next question. Your lyrics are very aware of social issues, and you seem to be able to teach without being a demagogue. How come?
Well, I was taught that it's because of what was taught to me. I was taught that what's most personal is what's most universal. That if that your truth is a part of the truth. You know what I mean? That none of us have the entire truth, but that what's true to me and when I'm being my most honest and my most sincere and my most genuine, be that good, bad, ugly, it touches other people. It connects with the truth that lives inside of other people. It connects with that human instinct and that vibration that's inside us, that some people call our soul or whatever we want to call it. So I think that when we are that open and that honest, we can't help but touch on some really powerful electricity.
Even though you've talked so much about it, explain to those who still don't know the significance of your name what it means, Brother Ali.
Well, I'm a Muslim, and my name is Ali. I converted to Islam when I was 15, and the people there gave me the name Ali. They were naming me after the cousin of Prophet Muhammad, who was one of the first young people to really support his mission of freedom, justice, equality, and peace, and love and humanity and the oneness of people, which is what the Prophet Muhammad was about, and the oneness of God, and the oneness of spirituality, and the oneness of everything. Ali was a young person who went against the grain of society and supported him. So they named me that, because it's not every day that a 15-year-old kid with no ties to the Muslim community really at all converts and becomes Muslim. But when they said that to me, I was thinking of Muhammad Ali, who's one of my biggest heroes ever in life. You know what I mean? And so I was really happy about the name. And so I always tell people when they bring up Muhammad Ali, I always say I'm named after him, because in my mind, that's the reason why I was so excited about that name. And brother, it's what we call each other. So when you're in a close religious community, people call each other, Brother Charles, Brother Harold, Brother Mustafa, Brother Kareem, Sister Sharon, Sister Clara, Sister, Nakami. And so my particular one, I was asking these children that I was teaching, what should be my rap name? You know what I mean? I went through many different hip-hop names. I've been in hip-hop since 1985. So I had all the crazy MC this and Doctor that. And so I was asking these kids, like, as an adult, I want a name that makes sense. What do you think my name should be? And a little girl who was maybe 6 years old at the time, she's 20 now and going to college, and she thinks she's grown up. But she said, "What do you mean, Brother Ali?" And it just stuck. And I said, "All right, nothing. Thank you." You know what I mean? Yeah.
And is it harder now to be a Muslim than back then? Because everybody, especially the media, is talking in a rather bad way about the Muslims, because much they talk is about the extremists, but not of the Muslims like you, which is the majority, I think.
It definitely is the majority, and thank you for recognizing that. The reality is that in every group there are radical extreme fundamentalists in everything, not only in all religions, it obviously exists in every religion, but it exists in every grouping of people. You know what I mean?
Rap.
In rap, there are radical fundamentalist extremists, and they're dangerous. In politics, there are, in literally everything. In yoga, there are extremists. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The thing is that, and I don't mean to sound crazy, and I'm not a conspiracy guy, but there are powerful elite people who work on a really big scale globally, and they're not part of any particular government. They weren't elected by anybody. They don't represent any country or any particular state, but they work together, and they move things in certain directions, and they have great power and influence over things. And unfortunately, both because of the resources, the natural resources that exist in the Muslim world, and then also that they've targeted us for that reason, so that they can dehumanize us and go into countries that are Islamic and say, well, these people are crazy, these people hate you, these people want to kill you, these people hate your way of life, and they're against you, and they're not really human. They don't matter. They're not precious people like you are, so you can go in and kill them. And while we're here, we take over their oil. You know what I mean? Just while we're here, since we're not doing anything else. The other part of that is that I think they need a distraction and a diversion for the fact that the extreme rich are getting extremely richer. In America, I know that 51% of the wealth in our country is owned by 1% of the population. And that's increasing. The middle class is decreasing. We're being squeezed into poverty. And it's growing at this disparity between the different income groups. We're having more and more extreme rich and extreme poor. And rather than us focus on what that real problem is, we have these distractions to say, be careful when you go to the airport, be careful when you go to the train station. Some Muslims want to hurt you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have different colors for how dangerous
it
is
exactly. And the reality is that, are there Islamic fundamentalists that are crazy and actually represent evil hatred? Yes, there definitely are. And but they're not any more a threat than anybody else's extremists. You know what I mean? And so for us to be categorized this way as a group is just really hurtful and sad. But it feels the same way as being a hip-hop person. I love hip-hop, and I know what all of it is. And for somebody who's completely outside of it to look at the 10% of hip-hop that's on the mainstream radio and think that that's all of what we are. That rap is about clothes and cars and selling drugs and strippers. Not that I have anything against that type of rap or hip-hop, but that's not all of what we are. That's not even the majority of what we are. But that same kind of sentiment exists in both of these things that I love so much.